Oh, I gotta erase some videos. I only got 15 minutes of videoing left on my phone. Well, good morning. It's Saturday morning. I'm a little bit late getting to the barn, but I told everybody I'd be there 10 minutes ago. I'm still 20 minutes away. So for those of you who are good at math out there, that's 30 minutes I'm late to the barn. But if it was going to be get out the door and rush and just be 20 minutes late, or swing by and get my little friend here, 30 minutes it was. So a little chilly this morning, 11 days to Christmas. We are now entering the 10-day period almost. My favorite time of the entire year on planet Earth. You know, aside from racing and baseball and everything else, just quietly my favorite time of year is the 10 days leading up to Christmas. You know, you have the people that are frantic going through the malls and just looking to buy stuff because they don't want to go during the week and they don't want to be there the weekend before Christmas because that's chaotic. I love those people. Girls and I are alone. Amy took Ollie back, his baseball team, and some sort of fundraiser at a hockey game in Guelph tonight. So she took Ollie back, and I have the girls with me. Now, obviously, they're not physically with me. They're home. A little cold today. Addie's just getting over the cold. And Ava's just old enough now where she wants to sleep into about 11 o'clock. So that's not going to happen. I woke her up before I left. And I told them when I'm done here at the barn, I got to train 8 babies. I sent everybody a list of 8 babies I want to go with this morning. And when I'm done training those 8 babies, I'm going to come right back home. We're going to go shopping this afternoon. I'm going to get Amy some Christmas presents maybe, Ollie. And then put them under the tree in Brunswick. Tonight I'm in race 249 and something. And I think 2-4 will be fine. But the 9 and the something they're probably going to need drivers tonight. I didn't realize they put me in late, and with Ava and Addie being here, I don't mind staying till the 4th, but I'm not going to be here the whole night. So, I'll just be quite frank with the judges. Amy's out of town. I got the girls. Would you mind if I left after the 4th? I'm sure there'll be no problem there. Anyway, that's what's on for tonight. This morning we have lots of horses. Jason's training his whole side today. JK Victory and Sunny and Memory are all getting prepped to qualify on Thursday, which is great because I have no racing at all on Thursday. So it's perfect timing for me. At least in the afternoon, I should say. And then we have Century training today also. He's going to prep at 1.5 miles. He's getting closer. We're almost ready to just snap him in the bike and go 1 mile in 2.6, 2.7. He is training very, very good. This would be, if you'd asked me, all right, Anthony, you're taking Century Legion out of Ontario over to Ohio. What do you expect? What's best case, worst case? Right now would be best case. This horse looks very, very good training, and I've been very, very happy with him. I was happy with the qualifiers yesterday. Wasn't surprised. Even Southwind Idex, those are aged horses, right? Those are Gigondus, and those horses were good horses. He finished back a little bit, trot 1 mile in 2.3. Expectations being what they were, I wasn't disappointed, and I didn't realize it because you couldn't see it on the video. James said it was bitterly cold yesterday and a vicious wind. The track was fast, it was sunny out, they still gave it a second. James said they could have given it 2 or 3, quite frankly. So that is uplifting also. We'll come back with another qualifier with 3 of them. I want to talk to Dominic and James. I don't think Felix needs another qualifier. Just race him, get him in. The reason I'm saying that is because Dancing by Myself is going to take a couple more weeks to get him squared away. And not because it's difficult, but because he hit that left shin and bruised it up pretty good. We went through this with Gypsy Hill at the start of the year. When that shin gets bruised behind, it's painful, right? I would probably measure it equally to smashing your shin into the bed at night in such a manner that it's sore when you wake up and your first few steps on it every day are sore. And imagine now purposely hitting it again throughout the day. Now times that by 50, 100 times in a race. That's why you see horses make those breaks in the corners that are hitting their shins. Now, Gypsy, we got him just away from it, just a hair more, to the point where he was just brushing. Now, we had put, I told you this way back when, but we had inserts. So If you've ever seen a trotting boot behind, they're fastened with Velcro, right? And the neoprene over top of the neoprene base is a plastic shell. Now, what we did, well, you can just buy the plastic shells and put them old school. You'd put them in brace bandages. Moreover, these days you just use vet wrap. So we had that plastic shell, and then we got a piece of rubber about that thick, very soft rubber, and we super glued it right where he hit on that shin, inside that shell. Put it against the leg, vet wrapped the leg, put the shell on, and vet wrapped over the shell. Now, every start Gypsy Hill race, he ripped the vet wrap all to pieces, but he was okay with it like that. He was okay with the shell, he was okay with that, and I didn't care about the vet wrap being mangled, but right through to the point we sold him. That's how he was. And at the end of the year, we were back to wearing boots on him normally. As I told you, a lot of the stuff that goes on with these horses is confidence, right? As they get better, you can change as you go. Change the shoes, right? Casanova Hall. The only shoes that he would trot with that we had on him when he first started with the aluminums turned around backwards, nag bars behind. And he got better and better and better. Then he blew a quarter crack, and like, oh, we're gonna have to put a mushroom bar on him. Raced him with mushroom bars, no problem. It was like it was not a problem at all. In fact, I think right now you can put any shoe on Casanova Hall you'd want, and he'd be just fine. It's just that confidence, right, of being able to do your work. Gypsy Hill went through it. For those of my partners out there, you remember back in June when he was making those breaks, and back in May, we just couldn't get him right. We were trying to get him right, and finally we got him okay, and then it was like, yeah, Gypsy's fine. And then he was fine the rest of the year. You do it, drive him however you want. Well, that's where Dancing by Myself is right now. So the 2 weeks is more to heal up that left shin. He didn't crack it, or didn't injure it in any bad way, but he did bruise it. So how are we going to shoe him to keep him from doing that? That is the $1 million question. And that is one we will answer. I'm confident we can do it. We actually shipped Gypsy Hill's boots, those shells, home to Dominic for Dancing by Myself. And we're going to go through the training of him the same way, step by step, until we get it right. So that's the plan with Dancing by Myself. But in the meantime, we don't really have a horse for the maiden. If James is telling me the track was off 2 or 3 seconds, and it looked to me like Never Lose Felix was in reserve. It wasn't like he was loaded, but he had lots of trot at the wire. And James confirmed that. He said, yeah, he was good. Let's race him in the maiden next Thursday. It's my thought, anyway. Silkwood Idex, I don't know what we're going to do with him. If James goes, can we turn 2-3 on a bad day into 2 minutes or 2-1? If we can do that, he can compete in a maiden. And then at some point, we'll probably move him on if he doesn't grow. But hold on. There has been horses that just get little by little better. I'm just curious, is that breeding in Silkwood Idex going to bubble up? I don't know. I mean, here's a Muscle Hill, beautiful horse, just wears trot boots behind, doesn't interfere, well bred. His breeding would make you believe that he'll be a good horse, but he's trying his hardest to convince us he's not. I don't know what to tell you. So we'll see how Silkwood Idex does over the next 3 or 4 or 5 weeks. We'll have a good firm grip on him as the year starts, and if he's not a good horse, then we'll move him on. We have, I thought the other filly, I wasn't thrilled with 31 flat, but James said it was a pretty good headwind, and as he said, that everything about today was an illusion on video, right? Sunny and looked good, but windy, cold, just a nasty, bitter cold day. So the Tactical Landing filly, she'll come back for another qualifier next week. Mounts for All, he has to go up in a higher class. James was really pleased with them. Those are 2 battle-tested, aged horses that were ahead of him in the qualifier. I thought he looked very good qualifying. We'll come back with another qualifier for him, but I think he's going to do some damage at Mohawk right away. I really like the position we're in with Mounts for All. We have tons of options with this horse. If I'm wrong, he can do Dayton, he can do Northfield, he can do it. The Meadows, the world is his oyster right now, so to speak. very disappointing that he got injured at the start of stake season in Indiana, but he's no joke, and I think he's going to get better and better and better this year as a 3-year-old turning 4. Now, that was the qualifiers. They schooled up Admiral Dio to make sure that he was tight for this week. We got to the bottom of what happened. It was a combination of a few things. One, he didn't get in on dates, but why didn't he get in on dates? Well, one of our clients owns a piece of another horse that was in that race who had a better date. So I didn't realize that. I had to keep a closer eye on that moving forward. But my biggest problem with Admiral Dio is, can he continually do? I think you're going to see him probably come to the Meadows, just because I'm not sure he's a straight number as a 2-horse at Mohawk. He is improving. He does have his moments. Now, it would be unfair to judge him this week, coming in on 3 weeks off. But when he comes right back with the next week, which he should do, which would be Thursday, Boxing Day. I think they used to race on. It's so funny. I'd said this before. Boxing Day in Canada is the day after Christmas. It is a massive shopping day. Now, I think the boxing alludes to something in our past with England, Great Britain, whatever. There is no such thing. You say Boxing Day, you may call it Elephant Day in the U.S. No one has any idea what that is. You say, oh, what are you doing? What goes on here on Boxing Day? I don't know, boxing? I have no idea what you're talking about. It's just not a thing here. But in Canada, it's a massive shopping day, and we used to always race on Boxing Day. I believe we do this year, and if we do, that would be the second start in a row for Admiral Dio. That will be Judgment Day for him. Boxing Day will be Admiral Dio's Judging Day, because if he can't, well, I guess we can leave until he finally wins a maiden, but if he's not good enough to do the numbers 2, he'll go from a maiden straight over to the Meadows, and he'll do some damage over there, I'm sure. Even if we have to put him in a claimer, no difference. As long as he's doing well, that's all that matters. Tenacious Hanover will be entered this week too. He's 2 weeks off. That's a little frustrating also. Is that going to get old in a hurry? Not sure. We'll see. But he did race good his last start. And a number of horses getting ready here in Ontario. It's an exciting time of year for us right now, not just for Christmas, but for other things. Now, racing yesterday, we had 2 in the Meadows. I told you it was going to be a tougher day, man. I'll tell you one thing. We'll get to it in a second. And then we had Texan Soprano Yonkers. He went away 1-5, but coming in, not on his best efforts lately in the Meadowlands. He had one good start since he came back. It was a really good start. I think, did Brennan drive? I'm not sure who drove him, but he was closing hard, tried a 53, looked really good, and then kind of fell apart in his next 2. Got him back over to Yonkers last night and pounded them at 1-5 and looked good doing it. So very happy for him and Scott and Megan that they got everybody doing the work well. Now, at the Meadows earlier in the afternoon, Patrick DePrana is flat. I know his line, the numbers look okay, like 52-4, 52-3, 27-4, but he didn't feel at any point like I was in the race. He felt like he was in the race, but not in the race. Now he drops down in class, and we got to get him moving. I think numbers are 5,000 next week, but all those classes are full of horses that originally were somewhere near the Open also, so they're all tough. All those middle conditions are tough. We'll see what's going on with Patrick. I can't really tell you that he was sore anywhere, that he was off, that he seemed anything other than just not good enough, right? Felt like 52 and a piece was top speed for him right now. And you'll see horses slide a little bit. We've gone through this with a number of horses. I mean, it would be hard for me to say that he needs a rest, but a couple more starts like that, and that's what we're going to have to do. Having said that, he is a good horse, and he may just come out swinging next week when he drops down in class and puts a beating on them. He was off a couple of weeks, coming off a couple of suspect performances in Dayton. Maybe you're just short, just a little flat. So we'll see how he races next week. And again, we'll reassess after that. Now, with our boy, time is on my side. You know, I was irate when the draw first came out that he was in the Open. I just thought that he shouldn't be in the Open. And then I looked at the Open, good horses in there, took him off the gate, and then finally I reserved myself to the opinion, you know what, whatever. it's not like, I don't know if the Open yesterday was going to be that much harder than the non-winners at 10 somewhere else, or the non-winners at 12,000, wherever they were going to get him in at the Meadows, or Dayton, or Yonkers, or, you know, or Mohawk. I don't know that the class would have been harder anywhere else. So, whatever. It was a race. He was coming in off of 6 weeks' work, right? Breeders' Crown Final was his last race. Now he's tight. We're not bringing our horses, not ready to go. And Tim had him ready to go, and he raced great. As they fanned out, if I got an inch, I jog. He jogs. I finished with the bit in his mouth and the earplugs in his ears, something I don't very often do with horses.